Before we begin, if these stories of human truth speak to you, helping us reach 5,000 subscribers means the world. A simple like or a comment sharing your thoughts keeps this space alive. I read every single one of you. Thank you. I never thought I would be the kind of man who questioned the person he loved. My name is Ethan, and for most of our relationship, I trusted Claire with everything. She was funny, steady, and naturally charming. We had been together for 4 years, married for 2. Life was not perfect, but it was steady. We lived in a small apartment just outside Chicago, both working long hours and barely seeing each other during the week. Still, I believed our foundation was strong until small cracks began to show. It started quietly. The late-night dinners, the sudden gym obsession, her phone never leaving her hand. I told myself, paranoia ruins marriages faster than truth ever could. But one evening, her location tag showed her at work 2 hours after her office closed. When she walked in, she looked surprised to see me awake. She set down her purse quickly and claimed they had last-minute paperwork. But Claire's firm did not do late paperwork. Everything was scheduled with precision. That night, while she showered, I sat in the dim light, staring at her phone on the counter. The screen lit up once, showing a single name: Adam. My stomach twisted, but I did not touch it. I was not ready to cross that line yet. Days passed, and the unease turned into a quiet obsession. I noticed everything: a new perfume, hidden receipts, a locked phone gallery. Every instinct screamed that something was wrong, but I still hoped I was wrong. Then came the night that shattered the illusion. We were heading out to dinner with her coworkers. She wore a black skirt and a white silk blouse. Her lips painted a shade I had never seen before. She looked beautiful, and yet completely unfamiliar. As she adjusted her skirt before leaving, something white peeked out near the waistband. At first, I thought it was a tag. I stepped closer, offering to fix it, and gently tugged the inner lining of her skirt. A folded piece of paper slipped onto the floor. She went pale and stood completely still. I bent down and grabbed it before she could. My hands shook as I unfolded the note. There it was, handwritten. Can't wait to see you again tonight. Same place. My chest felt empty. My ears rang as if the room had gone silent. She stood there, lips trembling, whispering that it was not what I thought. I let out a quiet laugh and asked what I was supposed to think. Her eyes darted toward the door, searching for an escape. I placed the note on the table. I used to think the worst thing was losing her. Turns out it was realizing I never really had her. Claire's hands shook as she claimed it was not an affair, just complicated. Complicated. The universal word for lies wrapped in half-truths. I sat down and told her to uncomplicate it. She stared at the note, admitting Adam was a friend from work. I cut her off, reminding her of her lies about late paperwork. Her face crumpled, and she started crying, saying she just felt unseen. That word hit harder than I expected. I had been distant, stuck in routine. But distance calls for honesty, not betrayal. I told her she chose to be seen by someone else instead of talking to me. She sank onto the couch, covering her face, crying that it was not supposed to mean anything. I told her it always means something. The silence stretched thick as rain tapped against the window. I stood up, grabbed my jacket, and walked to the door. When she begged me not to leave, I told her she had already left. She just forgot to take her body with her. Then I walked out. I drove for hours, city lights blurring past. I did not cry. I just let the quiet sit beside me. The next morning, I returned home. She was sitting at the kitchen table, eyes swollen, offering to move out. I poured myself a cup of coffee and told her I did not need an apology. I needed the truth. She hesitated, then admitted it started innocent. He made her laugh, and he listened to her. Then, after a client dinner, they kissed. She claimed she ended it immediately, but guilt turned into confusion, and she did not know how to face me anymore. Her honesty came too late to save our marriage, yet I felt a strange calm. At least the shadow had a name. I told her I wished she had told me sooner so we could have tried to fix things, but she chose secrets instead of solutions. She nodded, silent tears sliding down her cheeks. I left that afternoon with a single bag. The weeks passed quietly in my new apartment. Work, gym, silence, repeat. Healing was slow, like learning to walk on unfamiliar ground. Then, one evening at a coffee shop, a stranger smiled at me. It was a simple, kind smile that reminded me the world had not ended. It had only changed. Months later, a letter arrived. No return address, but I knew her handwriting. She wrote that I was good to her in ways she did not understand until she lost me, and hoped I would find someone who saw my worth. I folded the letter, placed it in my drawer, and took a long breath. Maybe forgiveness is not something you give another person. Maybe it is something you give yourself for believing love would always be enough. Watching the city lights glow that night, I realized you cannot stop people from betraying you, but you can stop letting betrayal shape who you are. For the first time in months, I did not feel broken.